All right. Welcome everybody to our class on doTERRA placements. I'm so glad that you guys could join us. We're going to talk tonight about building a solid structure. And I think from the very beginning, one of the first things we have to do is get people to classes and get people enrolled before we can wonder about where we're going to put them in our organization. But then once that starts to happen, what do we do with them then? As of last week, there was this woman that I had, and it's not the first time that this has happened, but she enrolled 12 people at one class, and then she had to figure out, oh my gosh, where am I going to put all these people, and where am I going to spill them, and who am I going to spill them under? So we immediately, with this brand new person who had just started using essential oils, had this placement conversation, and it really clicked with her because she was at that spot where she actually had to do placements, even though she just enrolled last week. So when we're building a solid structure, it could be from the very beginning, or we might actually be a couple of years into this until we actually decide we're going to build, and then we need a place to put people. So before you decide that you're going to be a builder, you have to decide if you're a user, a sharer, or a builder. And someone who is either a sharer, who is someone who likes to have classes, tell other people about it. You might not really want to jump in all the way, but you are going to be making money with doTERRA. You are going to have to know about placements. But if you're a builder, you're definitely going to have to know about placements, because building means that you are creating a structure that is going to last over time, and you want to build that structure with a solid foundation. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, if you are a user, this might not be the class for you, but you can also just listen in, and there's just tons of people who start to use essential oils and then they decide to build. But you want to keep this in mind, user, sharer, or builder, when you're having conversations with the people that you're enrolling, because you need to identify them as one of these three types of people, and that will determine where you are going to put them in your organization. So I might slide back to this slide actually, so that you can see what I'm talking about after I talk about communication. So with communication, and I wish I could just get a little hand clap for my slide. Is this the cutest little slide ever? Okay, thank you very much. I love putting these things together. So Zoel, we're going to get along really well. Okay, I love putting presentations together as well. So it is so important when you enroll someone that you are in communication with them immediately. doTERRA is not a company where you enroll people and then you just drop them. That is not what we want to do at all. So right after you enroll someone, send them a welcome email. Welcome them to your team. Tell them thank you for their interest in essential oils and doTERRA, and let them know that you're going to be the go-to person when they have questions. That's how you build a business. Being a really good, having good customer service, I guess, is key to this business. You also want to follow up with a welcome call in about 3 days. And what you want to do is you want to tell them, hey, when you get your kit of oils, I want to come over and go through it with you. And it's a really exciting moment for those people when they're getting their kits. Think back to when you got your original kit and how excited you were to open all those bottles and smell them. And they weren't just somebody else's at a class now, they were yours. And you got to learn how to use them all on your own. And there's a real excitement with getting started with doTERRA. But people still are like, I don't know where to go from here. So that's where you come in with this wellness consult. So after they get their oils, schedule a wellness consult after they get the oils, but within the first 10 days of enrollment. And this is key. This is important. Now, this could be a one-on-one, just like it is with this little couple here at this table, or you could do a Zoom call with them. By the way, Zoom is free if you keep your calls to under 40 minutes. So everybody should have a Zoom account and be using it. I love this option. You can do a good old phone call if you want to as well, but be sure that you are in communication with them after they get their kit. Now, what you're trying to do is not only teach them about their oils, you want to determine if there's any ambition in them at all to do a business as well. Not everybody is going to want to. In fact, I think the next slide has some statistics, and I just heard the statistic again today, but there are people out there who want what you're learning as well. They want financial freedom. They want extra income coming into their home. And doTERRA is a great, great avenue for that. So when you're looking for a builder is going to be ambitious. It's someone who is a good educator or a very good communicator. They're also having really good results with the oils. So they're going to be very excited about using these products and telling other people about them. There also could be an influential person in the community, or they know a lot of influential people in the community. They are devoted. They are seeking health as well. And they are wanting some kind of a new lifestyle or this new stream of income to come in. So any of these indicate that this is a good business building prospect. Now I want you to see the bottom of this slide here. People are not good builders just because you want them to be good builders. That is not the way we find a builder. I've heard so many times, oh, if I could just get her in, I would be set. And that really is not the way to think about this at all, because we're not trying to get anyone, okay? We want people who want a new lifestyle, who want a new way of life, and who see this as the answer to the issues that they have, whether that be health issues, whether that be financial issues. I have had people come into doTERRA because they say, you know what, I just want to make friends. And I think doTERRA absolutely is an incredible way to make friends. I can look at so many people in my downline that I would never have known 3 years ago had it not been for doTERRA. So remember, people are not good builders just because you want them to be a good builder. So at this wellness consult that I talked about, within a week of getting their kit, so I said, 10 days from the time that they enroll, usually it's 3 to 4 days until they get their kit, and then you want to be able to have this consult. Definitely you want to be able to teach them the benefit of their oils. But here's the key here. You want to ask them what they want to get out of their membership. And number one, you want to listen to them. So if you're doing this wellness consult and you're listening to them and they're saying, nope, I don't want to have anything to do with this business. I don't even know about these things myself. So I don't know. No, I don't want to have anything to do with it. And you go, oh yeah, I think you'd be a good business builder. Maybe all of us have done that, but really we do need to listen to them and really establish where they're at as a user, a sharer, or a builder. And I think even if people say that they're just a user, it's pretty incredible how we find out that more often than not, they're a sharer. They're telling a lot of people about this. They don't think they're building a business at all, and yet they're telling everyone about this, which I think is just a crack up. It just makes me smile every time I see this, because when something works for us, we can't not share it. And I don't know if many of you know about my story. I think you do, but some of you may not have known that when Pam enrolled me, I looked her right in the eye and I said, don't even think about talking to me about the business. Do you hear me? I will never do this as a business. So Pam put me on her 5th level, which is probably would have been at that point the way I was acting a very good place for me. But I had an exception where I could do really, really well in 3 months and get to move up to her front line. And that is what I did. And so that exception is out there if anybody's interested in that or interested in that with somebody else in your organization. So also, you not only do you want to identify them as a user, a sharer, or a builder, but you want to talk to them about being on LRP. We all know, all of us are on LRP. It is the most intelligent way to buy your oils. I don't know why anybody would not want to be on LRP, but it really is good. It is very important to be able to talk to someone about that, because when someone is on LRP, it means that you have residual income coming in from that person every single month. Now, that's not the best thing about it. They also get free points. And when they start getting free points and they start building up to 10%, 20%, they max out at 30%, people don't quit when they max out at 30%. So we want to keep them on LRP as well. There's a difference between a wellness customer and a wellness advocate. You cannot build under a wellness customer. So there's this new wellness customer thing is kind of a, I don't know, it's good in some ways, and in other ways it's just kind of a hindrance as well. You can't build under a wellness customer, but if that person decides that they want to upgrade to a wellness advocate, you can do that, but you have to wait 90 days to be able to have them then go in and put their social security number in. They upgrade to a wellness advocate, and now you can move them anywhere in your organization that you want to. So this is a good way to be able to take that person, that wellness customer who now wants to build the business, and you put them on your 5th level and be able to move them up. So when you decide through this wellness consult, if they're a user, a sharer, or a builder, you can now place them in your organization correctly. You do not ever want to place a user on your front line, if at all possible, okay? A sharer, okay to place on your front line, but in a perfect world, we would all have 3 super builders on our front line, but in reality, in the first year to 5 years of doTERRA, we might not find those 3 perfect people that we want to put on our front line. There is, I think I'm going to wait for this. If I forget about this, Carrie, remind me to talk about the ghost position, okay? But I'm going to talk to you about that a little bit as well. You do need to place people in your organization within 14 days, or they are permanently stuck on your front line. Remember that. They're permanently stuck on your front line. If you need to set a reminder in your phone or whatever to let you know at 12 days, go in there and figure out where you're going to put this person. It is important to move them. I'll guarantee you're going to kick yourself if you forget to move somebody, because then they're going to be placing this LRP and you could be using this volume somewhere else. Do not forget to move your people, okay? You're going to provide essential oil education and resources. You're going to give them websites to be able to go to at this wellness consult. Please invite your friends to Facebook pages. And I know there's this Facebook page and that Facebook page, and this upline has a great page and whatever. Just pick maybe 2 of the best pages that you can think of that are very active and giving really, really good, high quality education. Invite your people to those Facebook groups. Also, we have webinars, we have Facebook events all the time, Facebook classes on different things. In fact, Pam and I are doing a back to school class next Monday, and we're really excited to do that one. So be sure that you're inviting people to those Facebook pages as well. And then with your new people, when they're sharers, even we take very, very good care of our users as well. So invite them to oil class, where they can actually find out. It's a 2-week program that you can plug your people in to be able to find out about how to use those top 10 oils in doTERRA. It's a great way for them to find out at their own pace about how to use the oils that they just got in their hands. And then this sharesuccess.com is a really super website. If you guys have not been there yet, sharesuccess.com, I believe, is the best website out there. There's other ones as well to use for getting business building products and getting your people really hooked into business building. And then you want to teach 1 or 2 classes for your friends. And what you're doing with these 1 or 2 classes is you are allowing them to kind of absorb and see what you do, and then they start teaching their own classes. This is the best model that there is. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that I'm still teaching classes for them after 2.5, 3 years. But that's my, that's my enabling, and I shouldn't be doing that. Really, what I want to do is I want to launch people. I want them to go out and teach their own classes. Otherwise, it becomes too much of a burden on me, and this doesn't become the business that I want it to be. It doesn't. I'm not be able to create the leaders that should be created through doTERRA, and their own brilliance comes out at their classes. So don't be like me. I'm cutting the cords on a lot of people here in the next time they ask me to do a class, because it's time that they do their own, all right? So then again, now you want to mentor and you want to build those relationships. There's some of my greatest friendships now have been through doTERRA and the people who are in doTERRA. So really build those relationships. And then when there is success with those people, recognize it, because people love, love, love to be recognized. All right. So we've just come through the first part of when you get somebody in, what do you do with them? But again, we can talk all we want about placements and the compensation plan, but until you learn to do these things really, really well, you're not going to have anybody to place anybody anyway. Okay. So just make sure that you're doing these things well. I am not going to camp here. These are the expectations of a leader that we went through last time. These are the expectations that your upline has of you. And these are also the expectations that you should have of anybody that you trust to be on your front line and who wants to be a builder in your organization. Now remember, a builder is different than a sharer. And a sharer is probably not going to do all of these things. But when you really have that leader, that person who in the next 5 years is going to have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business underneath of them, you want to make sure that that's a trusted person in your organization that you can give that leg to. So that $150 a month PV order, they should be using the product. They should be in very, very good communication with you once or twice a week. You should be having mentor calls and strategy calls and even just friendship calls about how their life is. I think that that's very important as well, to do life with your leaders as well. Continued personal development, same day response to communication. Super important to have great, great customer service. They should be having, if a person is a leader, they should be having 1, 2, 3 classes a week to be able to build their business. They should be having several events per month, and they should be bringing in more OV into the organization every single month. That's what you want of a leader. So daily, they should have 2 new contacts. You should have 2 new contacts, 2 new follow-ups that you have every single day. Be doing the wellness consults, be checking your back office daily, be moving those people within 14 days. And then in a perfect world, and again, we all get busy and we're doing so much stuff, but at the beginning of, or excuse me, at the end of the month, we should already have a plan for the next month, okay? So be thinking about that when you're a leader, and that's what you want to have. Okay, we are going to talk really briefly about Fast Start, and mostly we're going to be talking about the Power of 3 bonus and how to build your structure tonight. So Fast Start bonus, I think everybody here probably really gets this. You enroll someone, you get everything that they purchase within the first 60 days, you get 20% of that. If somebody that you enroll then enrolls someone else, you get 10% of everything that person does in the first 60 days. And then if that level goes 1 deep, another 1 deep, okay, you get 5% of anybody who's on that second level of that enrollment tree from you. This is a pretty easy one. This is based on enrollership, okay? Huge difference between enrollership and sponsorship. And this is important to know and to understand. When you have the opportunity to enroll people, you enroll them. You keep that enrollership as long as possible until you have the ability to be able to give up that enrollership to someone else because it helps you rank advance. Okay, so for instance, with Carrie, I sponsored somebody underneath Carrie who's on my front line, and then I spilled someone underneath Carrie and she started to grow, okay? So then Carrie got to the place where she was going to be a premier, but I owned the enrollership of that person. So I had to give up my enrollership because rank advancement is based on enrollership, not sponsorship, okay? So I freely gave up that enrollership because I wanted my friend to become a premier. What that was eventually going to do is help me become a gold. So you can give up your enrollership, but I also gave up my fast start bonus to carry. So every time that person now enrolls someone, she gets the 20% and I get the 10%, which I'm more than happy about. Okay. So but as much as you can, hold on to your enrollership. Then there is sponsorship. So sponsorship, the power of 3 bonus is based on sponsorship. So if I already have 3 or 4 people on my front line, I don't want to go any wider than that. We do not want 8, 10, 12 people on our front line at all. We want to keep 3, maybe 4 people on our front line. So then what happens when we enroll someone? We have to spill that person underneath somebody else that's on our 2nd, 3rd, 4th level. I wouldn't consider ever putting someone who's a builder or a sharer lower than my 3rd level, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, okay? But now that person that I spilled underneath somebody else, that person becomes their sponsor. So let's look at this right here. If this is you, and you have these people on your front line, and you enroll somebody else, you can now spill them underneath this person. You are the enroller, but this person is now their sponsor. So a sponsor is somebody who is directly upline from the person that you've put them under in your enrollership tree. When you have sponsorship, the power of 3 bonus is based on sponsorship, and the unilevel bonus is based on sponsorship. Every other bonus, leadership, fast start bonuses, are all, and rank bonuses are all based on enrollership. So keep that in mind. All right, we are going to be talking mostly about the power of 3 bonus from here on. So my mantra as a leader and as your friend in doTERRA, build to the power of 3. Build to the power of 3. And you are going to hear other leaders out there who are going to say, build to rank, build to rank. But as you will see, as I look through this, it doesn't make sense to me to build to rank from a financial perspective. So I'm going to talk to you about that right now. My daughter made her $1,500 power of 3 bonus last month as premier. So it is very, very doable at a low overall volume, much lower than if you're going to build to rank and then figure out how to do your power of 3. Okay, so the power of 3 bonus is when you're placing your 100 PV order and then you have 3 people underneath you who are also placing at least a 100 PV order. Remember what I said back here, that when you are a doTERRA leader, you're expected to place a 150 monthly LRP order. This is the reason, because your power of 3 bonus, you need to have 600 team volume along with this LRP, this LRP, this LRP, and this LRP. All of this has to equal 600. Now you see I put this little person over here? You can have more than 3 people on your front line. You can have 4, 5, 6 people on your front line. Some of them may order every once in a while. Some of them may be on LRP, but it's under 100. But their volume, as long as they're on your front line, is going to go into your overall volume to equal 600. Okay? Now, what you want to do is teach those 3 people under you to do exactly the same thing. So what they're going to do is go out and find their 3 people, or you could even spill underneath them people who want to place a 100 PV order. Every one of these structures also has to be 600 team volume. All right? Now you see I put this extra 4th person in here as well. Now just remember that this person can help you get up to that 600 team volume. But you have to have these 3 who are doing the LRP volume. Now here's that spill process that I was just talking about over here. So when you enroll someone, you are going to spill. So we don't we want to go deep in our organizations. And there's many reasons why we want to go deep in our organizations. Number one, the deeper we go, the more we're going to make on our unilevel bonus. The deeper we go, the more we're going to be blessing the people underneath us. The deeper we go, the more we are building the perfect structure underneath us. But the last thing that we want to do is enable people to get money that they don't earn. And I think that that's been one of the hardest parts for me in my spill, is there's a lot of people like this person here that I've spilled people underneath who are now making $200 to $400 a month and are just sitting there not doing anything. And that kind of stalls out my organization. So I would, from this point forward, and really it's been for the last year or so since I started to learn, I will never give somebody more than one builder in their organization. If I have to spill one builder, I will, but the rest of it has to be up to them if they want to become a builder. So here, do not spill people under people who are not dedicated to putting in a 100 PV order. It will frustrate you and drive you crazy every single time. Only spill under people who are high sharers or builders. And I know people say they want to build, people say they want to share. We spill people underneath them, and then they go, no, I don't think I want to do this anymore. And that will drive you crazy. But there are ways to get around that as well. Later, we can do a transfer into that position if that person really does want to get out of that position and they've already built an organization. Really quickly, I'm not going to go into this in much depth, but your unilevel bonus is going to be the bonus that is going to give you the most bang for your buck over the long run. So fast start bonus is just what it means. You can make back the money from buying your original kit just by enrolling some people and getting that money back. That's your quick money, okay? Then you've got the power of 3 bonus, which is kind of your mid-range money, where you're starting to put people underneath you and starting to build to that $50, that $250 power of 3 bonus. Your unilevel bonus is the bonus that at first is going to be lowest. I think, you know, at first it was, for me, it was like $1.50 or something like that. And now my unilevel bonus is actually outranking my $1,500 power of 3 bonus. So that's kind of nice. But that's how it continues. As your volume continues to build, so will your unilevel bonus. And here you go. doTERRA has done something opposite, totally directly opposite of what most multi-level marketing companies do. On your first level, you're only making 2%. I don't care if you're a presidential diamond or whatever, you're still only making 2% on those people. And on your 7th level, when you get to silver rank, which is your first leadership rank, you're making 7% on the people underneath you. And what a lot of companies do is they put 7% up here and they put 2% down there. So what that does is it makes people go thin because they're making more of a percentage on their top line. What that does is it also makes shallow people who don't build underneath other people and who don't share, and it causes competition in organizations because everybody's vying for that same pot of money, right? So what doTERRA has done is they've made this amazing structure so that we get to bless other people and it also blesses us at the same time. I love the way that they did this. Now, as you advance in rank from manager to director to executive elite, premier is going to be your first leadership rank that you are going to be getting to. If you look at elite is 3,000 overall volume, which anybody can do that. You can have a class, you know, and have 3,000 overall volume and be an elite almost immediately. I know that doesn't happen all the time. All of you may be rolling your eyes with that, but it does happen, I promise you. But a premier now, you have 5,000 overall volume, but you have 2 executive legs. 2 executive legs are 2 legs of 2,000. So you now are looking for 2 people who want to build underneath you, who are going to have 2,000 PV, OV in their downline. Remember, unilevel and bonuses and rank advancement. Unilevel bonus is based on sponsorship, but rank advancement is based on enrollership. So keep those two things in mind. If you guys have questions about that afterwards, keep all of that stuff in mind, and we will try to get all your questions answered when we're done here, okay? It just makes sense to build to the power of 3. I put some numbers together for you here. So when we calculate that unilevel bonus, and let me go back a slide here. When you calculate your unilevel bonus between 2% and 7%, the average seems like it should be 5%. That's about right in the middle there. But when you first get started in your Premier, Silver, Gold in these ranks here, you have way more people up in these areas than you do down here in these areas. So it ends up being about 3.5%. So if you multiply your overall volume per month by 3.5, that's how you're going to be able to determine what your paycheck is going to be from a unilevel perspective. So let's say you are an elite and you have 3,000 in your overall volume. You multiply that 3 times 5, that's about $105 for your unilevel bonus, which right there, that's kind of cool. That pretty much can pay for your oils every month. Now, if you consider, even if you have people who are lower in your organization, let's consider this percentage. 3.5%, you would need 43,000 overall volume to get a $1,500 bonus from your unilevel bonus. Now, if we even consider that maybe you're starting to go deeper and you're starting to see that you've got, you know, more of these 5s and these 7% underneath you, let's consider that you have that 5%, which will probably be about the maximum that you could make from your unilevel bonus on an average. You would need 30,000 overall volume to get a $1,500 bonus. Now let's look at the power of 3. When you work towards your 1,500 power of 3 bonus, you only need 9,000 overall volume if everything is placed perfectly in your organization. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. So I from the beginning, I was kind of told to work towards rank as well. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. So when I started to put these numbers together, I'm like, you know, this is also going to build my structure well. So what I have really found is that when I started to build to the power of 3 bonus, and I've been blessing people underneath me, and they're getting a $50 and some of them a $250 power of 3 bonus, and we work on that together. When your sharers and your builders are making those bonuses, they don't quit. Their oils are getting paid for. They're getting this little paycheck every month between their unilevel and their $50 power of 3 bonus. Maybe it's 75, 80 bucks, but hey, they love oils. 75 or 80 bucks to pay for their oils every month, that's a great deal, and they don't quit. Here's the other thing. When you are building towards the $1,500 power of 3 bonus, you are building a correct structure. You are building a structure that's going to look like a pyramid instead of building towards rank, which a lot of times starts to look like you have one really big leg and a small leg here and maybe a medium leg here, and nothing really is in balance. So it's really hard to keep that together. Now, again, this is my opinion, and you may hear opinions from other leaders, but I really think this just makes a ton of sense to me. So here's the other thing. Build towards the power of 3 while still concentrating on building to rank. This is vitally important, all right? So the people that you choose to be in this business with you are eventually, I don't know how long that's going to be, 5 years, 10 years, maybe 2 years for some people, are going to have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of sales underneath them. So when you consider who is going to be on your first level, believe me when I say these are people that you want to be able to communicate with, people that you're going to learn to love, people that you want to do business with, because you're going to be working intimately with these people. If this is someone who feels like they're pushed like a round peg into a square hole, you are going to just be tearing your hair out trying to build a business, okay? So what you want to do is choose 2 people. You're going to build that first power of 3 bonus, but you just want to choose 2 of those people who want to be in this business with you. And maybe at first, only one of them says that they do. But if you can find those 2 people who you want to start building with, doing classes with, spilling under a little bit, that you can trust, that's what you want to find. Okay, this is where I'm going to talk about the ghost leg, because sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes we just don't find those people that we're clicking with, but they're placing a 100 PV order, but should I really keep them there? You can ask a family member, a friend, someone that you trust to be able to be a ghost leg for you. And what you can do is actually buy a membership for them. You can keep the oils or give them to them if you want to. But then this person is there with the understanding that when you find a good builder, you're going to take them out of that position and put this new builder in. So it does have to be a position where they know that this is going to happen, all right? At the beginning, I did that with my daughter. I had my daughter in there as a ghost leg, and guess what? That ghost leg just grew, and it grew, and it grew, and it kept growing. But I wasn't really finding anybody who wanted to be a solid builder to place in there. So now my daughter is actually a solid silver, making a $1,500 power of 3 bonus, and it's going to be really, really hard to take her out of that position now. So I've kind of built this, made this for myself now. That's kind of family money, where she's in there, but now I'm actually working with her people underneath her as if they were on my front line. So it can be a sticky place as well, which can eventually cause you more work, but I'm glad that I did it that way. If you can build someone up to an elite with these people underneath them and then find somebody to put into that position, that's a really, really good way to do that. So just remember, you can do that ghost position. It has to be somebody who has a different address than you. At least that's what doTERRA tells us. But it didn't work that way for me, because at first my daughter had the same address and they never ever said anything. So this is where, if you can see this little picture in the background here where you are the builder, and then you have these 3 people on your front line, maybe 4 people on your front line, but you're only going to be working with 2 of them. You want no more than 3 or 4 people on your front line that are doing a 100 LRP. You're going to spill the rest, because that's going to help you build towards your $250 power of 3 bonus. Users make up 80% of this business. We just have to accept that as a fact. Not everybody wants to be a builder. We absolutely love our users and we take care of them. It's 80% of our business. Great customer service is very, very important for them, but do not build underneath a user. As I have said before, it will cause you nothing more than headache in the end. So beware of that. Once you start to get close to Premier, now Premier, as backtracking here, Premier, in fact, I can backtrack right here and tell you what Premier means. So Premier, remember, means that you have 5,000 overall, but you have 2 legs who are making at least 2,000. So you have 2 executive legs. So once you're getting close to Premier, start building on that 3rd leg. Start figuring out who's going to be that next builder when you're getting close, when you are Premier or getting close to Premier, because now you're going to build to silver. And when those 2 legs are really going on their own, you can really concentrate on this 3rd leg over here. Don't start building on your 4th leg until you're solid silver or you're solid gold. Okay, so remember that you want to build that first rank structure really well before you start building on that 4th leg, or you're going to have too much volume everywhere and it's going to be hard to even hit silver or gold at sometimes. Okay, so I know not everybody is at that place yet, but I know you will be. So these are doTERRA ranks. I'm also going to talk a little bit about leadership bonuses. So leadership bonuses are associated with any rank that is Premier and above. The first rank that you are striving to get to and the first rank that you want to help build people to, if you just remember this, build to elite. build to elite, build to elite, build to elite. What you want to do is help people get to that 3,000 overall volume, and then that gets them excited in building steam because they're actually seeing some level bonuses. They probably have their $50 Power of 3 bonus at that time. Build to elite, because every rank in doTERRA is based on you having elites underneath you. So as a premier, this means that you are already an elite, but you are building those 2 people underneath you. There is something called the empowerment bonus. The empowerment bonus is about $200 a month. So when you become a premier, and you have to enroll at least one person, personally enroll one person every month in order to qualify for this empowerment bonus. This is just something that they just started last April. So it's kind of a brand new one, because they decided that, hey, premiers are builders too, or they're in a leadership role. And so they decided that premiers should get something as well. Silvers qualify for something called the silver bonus. And the silver bonus is where they are actually taking all the silver leaders in doTERRA, and they are giving them a piece of the pie every month. They take 2% of what doTERRA makes every month and splits it up between the silvers. And it ends up being about $150. But you're saying, what? Premier gets better than a silver? No, silvers also qualify for the empowerment bonus. So this is an extra about $350 a month when you're a silver and you enroll someone. You also get the empowerment bonus as well. Now,
oh, she's in compensation.
What's that? Oh, sorry, I heard someone in the background. Okay, so silver is when you have 3 legs underneath you now who have that 3,000 overall volume. So you have 3 elites underneath you. So remember, build to elite, build to elite, build to elite, because then what happens now is you get to gold. So gold is when these 3 people underneath you have turned into premiers, you are at gold, and your bonus at gold is about an extra 800. Again, what the silver bonus is 1 piece of the pie. Gold is 5 pieces of the pie. I didn't even put platinum in here, and that's where I'm at right now. Platinum is 10 pieces of the pie. So that is about an extra $1,500 a month for just that platinum leadership bonus. And then at diamond, I'm not there yet, so I'm not exactly sure, but I think an extra diamond, I think it's about $4,000 a month, something like that. So you want to make sure that you're building up and getting to these ranks. Now there's ranks above diamond that we're not even going to talk about. Diamond is kind of the standard. So when you've hit diamond in doTERRA, it's like you've made it, okay? At gold, this is where a lot of people start to quit their jobs. Husbands start quitting jobs because they are seeing the benefit and the value of what doTERRA could be in their future, for their retirement, for their children, and a way to really do life, have purpose, and be able to get out there and really make a difference in the world. And I love that, love, love, love that about doTERRA. So these leadership pools, this is the last thing that we're going to talk about here. These leadership pools kick in at Premier. So Premier is where you're making a number of shares. And see, these shares, what they do is these are actual shares of the company. So doTERRA takes some of the shares of the profits that the company has made, and guess what's happening with doTERRA? It is growing by leaps and bounds. I don't know if you've noticed or not. I've been putting in a lot of enrollments this month, or just this week, actually. We are almost up to 5 million wellness advocates with doTERRA right now. And so it's growing and growing and growing globally. And when you get to these leadership ranks, you get to make a share of everything doTERRA makes every month. So you've got that empowerment pool here that's about $200. Silver bonus is about $150. Gold is about $800. A platinum bonus is about $1,500. And a diamond bonus, I may have misspoke on that. It's probably not at 4,000. I think it may be closer to 2,500, 3,000 at the same time, or when you first start that. But when you add all of the other bonuses, the fast start bonus and the power of 3 bonus and your unilevel bonuses in with that, diamonds, the average diamond makes about 16,000. When you first hit diamond, you're probably only making between 10 and 12,000. And I say that tongue in cheek because how many people out there busting their butts in the marketplace right now are making $10,000 to $12,000 a month? Okay, it's a lot of work to get to diamond. I'm not saying that it's not. It's a lot of work to get to premier. I'm not saying that it's not. You have to, I believe, consider this to be a job, at least a part-time job, where you are going to be putting aside hours to do what you love to do. If you don't love to do doTERRA, chances are you're not going to be a builder and you're not going to hit these leadership ranks. But I don't know if anyone else is getting excited out there, but you guys, my house is going to be paid off in 3 months. Is that crazy? I was just looking today at a trip that my husband and I are going to go on to Guatemala next year on this amazing villa that's on this lake with a mountain in the back of it. And I'm like, that's reality now. That is so cool that I don't have to ask my boss to have time off. I just think it's amazing. So if I can do it, hey, I'm excited about this. And you've all heard me speak. Some of you have seen my texts where I can't even text. Okay, so I just know that if I can do this, I have gifts and talents that you might not have. But guess what? You have gifts and talents that I don't have either, and you can do this. I know that you can. Here's those average earnings, and you know, we can get excited about this. We can get excited about, yeah, I'm going to be diamond someday. But the first thing you have to do is invite people to a class. Okay? The first thing you have to do is get out of your comfort zone and do something that you didn't ever think that you were going to do before. The first thing that you need to do is maybe see some of the tendencies and the characteristics that rise up in you that you don't want anymore, and have a mentor or a friend who's going to help you through those things so that you can become a better leader. These ranks are real. This money is very, very real. But what's even more real is the growth that you have in yourself to become a leader in doTERRA. Belief is going to drive attitude, is going to drive action, which is going to bring results. And when you get those results, you're going to have more belief, which is going to cause a great attitude, which is going to cause more action and more results. But belief first in the products, and I think even more belief in yourself, belief in this company, belief that you can be more than you ever thought that you were going to be. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. And I fully believe that. What are your goals? What do you want to do? What rank do you want to be? When do you want to get your $50 or your $250 power of 3 bonus? And if you want to set that goal, what is the work that you are going to do to achieve that? And I know that there's leaders on this call who want to help other people do that. And if you're someone on this call that I am mentoring, I want to help you be able to get that as well. Okay, so together, that distance between your dream and your reality is action. It's really getting out there and doing the thing, but we can only get there by helping each other. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen here and look at your beautiful faces out there. And I'm gonna keep the recording going in case any of you have any questions. So does anybody, if you have a question, unmute yourself and we'll try to get your question answered. Hey Pam, I see you on there. Can you unmute yourself and just maybe tell us a little bit about your journey in doTERRA and how sometimes it's been a little bit hard, but yet it's so joyful.
Yes, it is. It is sometimes a little difficult. You know, sometimes when I was originally signed up, my upline had a very specific goal, and her goal was to rank up. And in order for her to rank up, she needed those under her to rank up. And so she pushed me really hard. I love her. I absolutely love her. She is an amazing woman. I wouldn't change it for the world, all that she has done. But she had a goal of ranking up, and she pushed me super, super hard and I had to hit silver in 90 days. And that was really tough. It was so much pressure on me. It was so, and as a result, my organization was very unstable. And I had not ever done a multi-level marketing thing before. So I just was doing what she told me to do. And, to be, and then of course, Kathy, she's just amazing. She came on to my team, and I actually learned more about building my organization from Kathy than I did from my upline. So, again, I love my upline, your upline as well. She's an amazing woman. She just, at that moment, she had a goal, and she doesn't do that on a regular basis, but at that moment she did. And so it was a real struggle for me. And I made it my goal to never, ever, ever do that kind of a thing to anybody that I enrolled, because that kind of pressure is not healthy. I mean, I literally thought I was going to have a heart attack some nights. So, the end of the month, and she's on the phone saying, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, and it was just like, oh, and that's just not cool. And like I said, the way that Kathy has structured her organization, and she has, she has taught me a lot. And so that's why I wanted all of you who even aren't necessarily on Kathy's team, I wanted you to listen to her structuring, because she knows what she's talking about. She really knows what she's talking about, and we can learn a lot. All of us can learn a lot from her. Now, that's not to say that we can't all learn something from you as well, because you all have great ideas as well, and that's why I like these Zoom meetings, because we can all get together from all over the place, from the West Coast to the southern states to the wherever. I don't know if we have any East Coasters here, but we're all over, and this is fantastic. So Kathy, you did an amazing job in your presentation.
Well, thank you, Miss Pam.
The PowerPoint that you had was so amazingly informational, and so thank you, Kathy. You did great. And those of you who are working on it, keep working, keep doing it. Don't let excuses stop you. We have excuses. We all have something to stop from going up and talking to that person, or calling that person that we said we were going to call, or whatever. There's always going to be an excuse, and you have to decide, is your excuse more important than your vision? Where do you want to be? Do you want to be stuck in this same rut that you're in right now, or do you want to go on? And those vision boards, if you are a vision board, Mary, you worked with your people on vision boards, haven't you? Vision boards are awesome. If it helps you to see every day what you're working for, because sometimes you need that just to get you through. Right.
That picture of, oh my God, I'll share this place in Guatemala with you guys. It's amazing, And so that is now on my vision board. I just saw that today, and I'm like, I would have seen that before and thought, oh, I'd love to go there someday. And today I looked at that and I thought, I'm going there in April. I mean, it was just so real. It was just so awesome to think of the fact that I didn't even have to put that off for 10 years, because who knows if I'm going to be here in 10 years, right?
Right.
So let's live while we can. I just love that. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other questions out there? I just want to, I'm looking around at these faces right now, and I see Miss Carrie. back there, and I know it's late for you girls in Zoel in Florida. Thank you so much for joining us. But Carrie is an amazing, amazing leader. I'm just so, Zoel, you're so blessed to be able to have this girl. I'm telling you, she's absolutely fantastic. And just to know the adversities that Carrie's had to go through, and she just keeps pushing and saying, yes, I can, yes, I can. And Carrie, there are days I have to kick you in the butt. Go ahead, shake your head, yes. But you know what? Carrie's done that back to me a couple of times too. So your upline is also can be our really good friends. And Lana, I look at you. Oh my gosh, this girl is a teacher extraordinaire. She is fantastic. If anybody wants to know about blending, she's the smartest person that I've ever known. She has a great, great blending class. I look at Miss Tara over there. I mean, I'm seeing my leaders here. Vicki, the influence that you have here in Cheyenne, just getting the knowledge of this whole thing around your head, you and Tara. I'm just so excited for everyone on this call. Okay, and Mary, look at you. I'm going to see you at conference. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, ladies. Time to go to bed, right? For the Florida girls anyway. All right, thank you guys so much for being here, and please share this recording with anyone in your downline who wasn't here tonight, and hopefully they'll gain some insight as well. All right. Good night, guys. Love y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Kathy.
You bet.